Hi everybody, I am Dr. Shailendra Kumar, Professor and Head of the Department of Homeopathic Pharmacy. Welcome to my first session, an introductory glimpse of homeopathy. Today homeopathy is a rapidly growing system and is being practiced almost all over the world. In India, it has become a household name due to the safety of its pills and the gentleness of its cure. A rough study states that about 10% of the Indian population solely depends on homeopathy for their healthcare needs and is considered as the second most popular system of medicine in this country. It is more than a century and a half now that homeopathy is being practiced in India. It has blended so well into the roots and the tradition of this country, and it has been recognized as one of the national system of medicine and plays a very important role in providing healthcare to a large number of people. Its strength lies in its evident effectiveness as it takes a holistic approach towards the sick individual through the promotion of inner balance at mental, emotional, spiritual, and the physical levels. Homeopathy is a system of medicine developed in the 18th century. Homeopathy has a holistic approach to healing with it as its central principles that likes cures likes. In Latin, it is called it as similia similibus curantur. Homeopathy has its own views on illness and its own diagnostics and treatment principles as well as the product and practice. The term homeopathy is derived from the Greek word homeos, means similar, and pathos means suffering or disease. Homeopathy is established in 1796 by the German physician Christian Frederick Samuel Hahnemann, and he is lived between 10th April 1755 to 2nd July 1843. Dr. Hahnemann had mastery of over 7 languages, namely German, Italian, Spanish, French, English, Latin, and Greek. He gained further proficiency in Arabic, Syrian, Chaldeian, and Hebrew languages. He had a reputation as a clinician as well as an acclaimed chemist of his time. One of his hobbies was translate medical books from one language to another. Hahnemann studied medicines and graduated MD at the University of Erlangen on 10th August 1779. In 1781, he took a village doctor position and became dissatisfied with the state of medicine in his time, particularly with practice such as bloodletting and leeching. He claimed that the medicine he had been taught to practice sometimes did more harm than good to patients. See, after giving up his practice around 1784, Hahnemann made his living chiefly as a writer and a translator, also resolving to investigate the cause of medicine's alleged errors. While translating a medical treatise of Scottish physician and chemist William Cullen from English to German in 1790, Dr. Hahnemann came across a footnote under cinchona that attributes its fever-curing property to the astringent qualities of the drug. Being a skeptical of Cullen's remarks concerning of effects of cinchona on curing malaria, Hahnemann experimented with its effects on himself by taking repeated dose of cinchona tincture. He experienced fever, shivering, and joint pains, symptoms similar to those of malaria fever. After a series of experiments, Hahnemann concluded that a drug that could produce certain symptoms in healthy individual could also cure similar disease symptoms to the natural diseases. This led to the coining of the word homeopathy. Based on this, Hahnemann postulated the key principles of homeopathy: the law of similars, logically evolving it's an experimental science according to the method of inductive reasoning after exact observations, correct interpretations, rational explanation, and scientific construction. He further studied and experimented with his theory added 8 other principles to this key concept and published his work in 1805 called Fragmenta de Verbis Medicamentorum Positivis Sive Insano Corpore Humano Observatis, which means fragmentary observations relative to the positive powers of medicines on the healthy human body. The first volume of this book contained detailed symptoms caused by 27 drugs. The second volume contained the totality of the symptoms in alphabetical order, which formed the basis of homeopathic repertory in later years. Dr. Hahnemann contributed to reforming the medical practice of the 18th century by attributing the cause of disease to the internal environment of the host and thus originated the basic principles that every individual react differently in health and disease. Further, he undertook proving of drugs on healthy human being, giving a dynamized form of medicines in minimum dose. He therefore advocated the restoration of the health of sick individual in gentle manner. The shift from a large to a smaller dose of drug resulted in minimizing the toxicity and side effects. The process of individualization also helped in building up a better doctor-patient relationship. You know, Hahnemann was the first medical scientist to prepare medicine in potentized form and proving them on healthy human beings. He also went to determine how the medicine acted to cure disease. Therefore, he is called the father of experimental pharmacology. The basic principles of homeopathy and the philosophy enunciated by Hahnemann continued to be unchanged even after 200 years. This form of guiding force of homeopathic practice for physicians around the world. Now, let us see about the development of homeopathy in India. The history of homeopathy in India can be traced back to the early 19th century to German missionaries treating people on the shores of Bengal. The first official account of treatment with homeopathic medicine is mentioned in the travelogue of Dr. John Martin Honeyberger, a late physician to the court of Lahore, titled 35 Years in the East Adventures, Discoveries, etc. He treated the legendary Maharaja Ranjit Singh of Punjab in 1839 with homeopathic remedies. The initial success of homeopathy came in Bengal in the 19th century in the treatment of cholera epidemics. Following this, homeopathic charitable dispensaries and hospitals were opened, and private practitioners emerged. The system received further impetus with establishment of educational institutions and pharmacies. You know, during the last 60 years, homeopathy has been successfully institutionalized in India. The government encouraged reasonable infrastructure in the form of education institutions, research facilities, drug development and quality standards, hospitals and dispensaries. With these as now about 186 homeopathic medical colleges and admitting about 12,200 students every year in the degree program of homeopathy. There are 36 postgraduate colleges which are grading departments of homeopathy and 2 exclusive PG colleges. On the healthcare delivery side, there are 201 hospitals and 7,585 dispensaries. There is a Central Council of Research in Homeopathy with 26 peripheral units. Central Council of Homeopathy for maintenance of Central Register of Homeopathy. Homeopathy Pharmacopoeia Laboratory for laying down the standards of National Institute of Homeopathy to be a model to other institutions, etc. Now let us see about the development of homeopathy in Kerala. About 125 years ago, Christian missionaries brought homeopathy to Kerala. Its popularity increased by the effective management of the epidemic cholera outbreak in South Travancore in 1920. In the year 1928, a resolution moved by Dr. M. N. Pillai in the Sri Mulam Assembly paved the way for the recognition of homeopathy as a system of medicine in India. The Srimulam Praja Sabha of Maharaja of Travancore recognized homeopathy as an acceptable system of treatment by 1928. Maharaja's family greatly impressed by the effectiveness of homeopathy. Homeopathy was also included in the Medical Practitioners Act of 1943 and included in the Travancore Cochin Medical Practitioners Act of 1953. The first homeopathic dispensary was started under the public sector at East Fort, Thiruvananthapuram. In the year 1958, the decision was taken by an allopathic doctor, that is Health Minister Dr. A.R. Menon. This is the first homeopathy dispensary under government sector in India. The Kerala Homeopathic Education and Department of Homeopathy are separate sectors. Recruitment to these sectors has been conducted regularly through Kerala Public Service Commission by examinations, and the first government homeopathic dispensary came into the existence in 1958. Since then, the department has made steady progress in the opening of institutions throughout the state. At present, there is 561 government homeopathic dispensaries and 31 homeopathy hospitals, out of which 14 are district hospitals with a bed strength of 970. Steady progress was made in the field of rendering medical relief to the public through homeopathy hospitals, dispensaries by the Department of Homeopathy. And there is a wide demand from the public to open new homeopathy hospitals and dispensaries in this state. There are 12 full-time and 1 part-time ESI homeopathic dispensaries that are also functioning in the different parts of Kerala. Now, let us see about homeopathic education in Kerala. There are at present 5 homeopathic medical colleges in the state, of which 2 are the government sectors and 3 aided by government. PG courses are only in government sector. Homeopathic education was started in Kerala in the year 1920, established as Royal College of Homeopathic Physicians in the heart of Cochin city. In 1966, LRCHP as the course stopped at the Royal College of Physicians at Ernakulam and started as a diploma course, which was later named Dr. Padiyar Homeopathic Medical College, Ernakulam, which is under the private sector. In the year 1958, ANSS Homeopathic Medical College has established in the private sector at Kottayam with a diploma course. In the year 1965, another college has established under the private sector, started at Nemam, Trivandrum as Trivandrum Homeopathic Medical College. In 1965, with a diploma course and later name changed as Sri Vidyadhiraja Homeopathic Medical College. In the year 1970, the Government Homeopathic Medical College Calicut was started between 1975 and 76, the first of its kind in Asia for imparting degree course in homeopathy. Calicut College has the largest number of IPD and OPD patients in India, with a CCU, pain and palliative care, isolation ward, and well-equipped physiotherapy units. Government Homeopathic Medical College at Trivandrum was started in between 1981 and 82. In the same year, postgraduate homeopathic education started in Kerala at Government Homeopathic Medical College, Calicut, and later at Government Homeopathic Medical College, Trivandrum. In addition to this, NESCOM Pharmacist course, that is otherwise called NCP course, are also conducting in government sector. NESCOM Pharmacy course started in 1989. In 1947, medicine manufacturing unit in the cooperative sector started in Kerala named HomeCo. Let us see about the present global scenario. Homeopathy is currently practiced in over 100 countries around the world and is said to be the largest amongst the CAM therapy grouped by World Health Organization. With the above infrastructure available and the support receiving from the public and government, India could be said to be the world leader in homeopathy. The system has a unique strength in curative, preventive, and promotive care and is based on the strong medical philosophy of vitalism. Homeopathy gained a massive following in the United States and American continent during the last 19th century. In 1844, the American Institute of Homeopathy was formed to become the first national medical organization in the United States. Homeopathic treatment gained recognition because of its success in treating many epidemic diseases rampant at that time, including scarlet fever, typhoid, cholera, and yellow fever. Statistics indicate that the death rates in homeopathic hospitals from these epidemics were often one half to as little as 1/8 of those in orthodox medical hospitals. Homeopathy reached Asia, including Russia and the Indian subcontinent, in the early 19th century. In India, it has gained a foothold owing to successful use in cholera and other epidemics. Homeopathic dispensaries, hospitals, education institutions, and pharmacies opened all over the parts of India, and it became the system of common man. The therapeutic system had spread around the world, almost in step with the colonial powers, missionaries, and travelers within the relatively short period. It had similarities in its approach with the prevailing traditional and ethnic medical system in the colonized nation and thus merged with them. Thus, homeopathic hospitals and colleges and pharmacies were opened in many parts of the world during the 19th century. That's all about the introduction of homeopathy. I hope from this session you get a clear idea about homeopathy and its present status in Kerala and nationwide, and also its global status. Thank you. See you in the next session. Bye.
Thanks for watching.
Like,
Comments
share,
and
subscribe.